Dr. Pedro Pete Obregon and his wife Judy, the newest members of the Medical Mission Hall of Fame, say they are but vessels for the greatest surgeon ever. Guided by his hand, the Obregons have taken 140 medical and surgical teams to 40 countries. For nearly 30 years, they have traveled from India to Thailand, from Mongolia to Laos. They've used cattle trucks in Honduras and airplanes in Mexico. They've helped Mississippians recover from the effects of Hurricane Katrina and made 17 trips to Pete's native land of the Philippines, including one where he removed a 58-pound ovarian benign tumor from this woman and then returned to see her recovery 2 years later. They've seen genocide skulls in Phnom Penh and made 15 trips alone to Rwanda, where they've assisted victims of genocide. Pete is a general surgeon who was educated in the Philippines by Baptist missionaries. Judy is a Columbus, Ohio-born respiratory therapist, pharmacy technologist, and medical assistant by training, who has since become a surgical scrub nurse as well as budget and logistical director for the mission trips. The pair met in 1988 while working at St. Anne's Hospital in Columbus. With a commitment to Christ and each other, they married 2 years later. Pete and Judy began to give to others by starting 2 homeless clinics in Columbus, but they felt the need to do more. Early on, they began doing short-term mission work at Halo Mission Hospital in the Philippines, where Pete's mother worked years before as a nurse. In 1993, Pete decided to give up his very lucrative private practice to become a full-time global missionary, and was appointed Medical Director for Medical Ministry International for Africa, Asia, and Eastern Europe. Some thought it was crazy to work for free. The Morning Prayer Circle told them otherwise. Pete earned his medical degree from the Far Eastern University School of Medicine in Manila. In 2010, the school named him as its Alumnus of the Year. Now 80 years of age, Pete is still active in missionary work. He serves as International Medical Director of Medical Ministry International and still performs surgeries, although Pete and Judy are only away from their Venice, Florida home for 3 months of the year these days. Our honorees have 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. For their service to the underserved, the Medical Mission Hall of Fame proudly inducts Dr. Pedro, Pete, and Mrs. Judy Obregon into its Hall of Fame in 2014.